Namaste yogis, welcome into practice. It is nice to have you on the mat and it's a chance for us to practice together. Today our practice is going to be a little bit more thoughtful and considered. In saying that, what I want you to do, we're typically in yoga, we are offered the invitation to take up space. Today I want you to see what it's like if you don't take up as much space as you can, but you can almost allow yourself to expand and then settle. So a lot of times we find that in our lives, we take up a big yawn in the morning, whoa, and we don't stay out here or live out here. We let everything just come back and find a place where it can settle, and we can find that space that feels nice for the body. And so I want you to figure that out today as we expand through the motion or the actions of the practice. Can you bring yourself back into a place that settles? If not already, I'd like you down on the floor, lying on your back. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you the space and the shape to really put that principle in practice. Right? As the body expands and the knees start to open, your active settling isn't to simply let the knees fall to the floor, because that might be a lot or too much at the beginning of your practice, or just for the space that you have in your hips. And settling might simply mean lifting the knees a little bit up to soften it, or even if you feel like you have a little bit of a back bend that's forming behind you, that's not as comfortable as you'd like it to be at the beginning, maybe you can put your feet on top of blocks. That can serve a nice purpose as well. Or you can simply adjust the way in which the body settles into the posture and figure out how you can take some of the tension out of anywhere that has created some as you start to find your way into Supta Baddha Konasana. And so welcome to the practice. And this practice, as always, which is about 55, 60 minutes, is a chance for you to be on the mat in real time, caring perhaps only about what is happening here within the four walls of the rubber mat that you're on. And sometimes that can be an easy thing. The world's busy and the day is noisy, so stepping onto the mat is literally that little kind of oasis, that little space that is so easily available for us to move in and towards. And on other days, it can feel like a task, a chore, an uphill battle. And whatever that is for you today, know that you have already accomplished so much by simply putting yourself onto the ground, letting yourself settle, and giving yourself the space to notice. The yogis will say the act of noticing or witnessing is the first state to our own spiritual enlightenment, our connection to the consciousness. If we cannot witness the state we are in, it is impossible for us to connect to something greater. We're so busy in our minds and we're so distracted in our actions. We have no space for something more. Perhaps. And so as you settle on the floor here, place your arms in a position that allows you to feel at rest. For me, that's down, wide, and out. For you, that might be on the body. It might be down by the legs. Or it might be some pattern in between that provides you a little bit of discovery about how the body moves. And then start with a simple breath to put yourself into the moment. Take a full inhale in. A long exhale out. Use your hands to draw your knees in and then up towards your chest. And as you give them a nice little squeeze in, we start to recognize that within the efforts of our practice or the efforts of our life, start to rock yourself forward and back. There is this ability to find a space in which the body can move into harmony. So as you shift yourself up, flip over to a tabletop position and start to move into cat-cows. Now today in this practice, your ears are going to be far more helpful than your eyes, because some of the things that I'm going to talk you through are going to be more about listening in as opposed to watching what I'm doing. But cat-cows I can show you. I can do those ones. And as you inhale, you allow yourself to widen and broaden, and you exhale, you curl and wrap. And continue that pattern as the body starts to move. And of course, invite yourself more range and space. So if you want to circle the shoulders or wiggle the hips, if you want to tuck or untuck your toes, it's so nice to have a moment of freedom and a moment of structure as you get your practice going. And in this practice today, as we explore the energetics or the idea of having these different capacities within us, I need you to find the way in which you can settle, the harmony in which the practice exists. And so as you move through a cat-cow action, ask yourself very simply, without judging it, without saying, oh no, I didn't, is ask yourself, have you circled your neck yet? Have you turned your wrists side to side or opened them up? Right? Have you tucked your toes or untucked your toes? And all of these sensations that we find and feel aren't necessarily postures that we need to tick off, but the permissions that we grant ourselves to say, am I in my practice today? Can I feel the space I'm in today? And when we do that, it makes yoga far more three-dimensional than just posture, 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 posture. And you might just discover something interesting as you go. Now here's what I want you to try today. Tuck your toes behind you, inhale through a cow pose, and then exhale, come back to essentially a really low child's pose with your knees off the floor. You can call it a malasana squat. Put your knees down, inhale cow pose. Exhale, malasana squat, feeling like there's a cat pose in the back body. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, lift the knees, malasana squat, arch the spine like a cat. Do that a few more times, and it's just an interesting thing that you can find when you start to give yourself the space or the permission to see where the body wants to go, as opposed to just trying to use your brain to tell it where to go. Inhale, come back up through cow pose when you're ready. And then tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now, a lot of times in the practice of yoga, whether you're practicing on the mat or you're studying that which is the wisdom within it, we understand that we have the dynamics of energy within us. We have the energetic stuff, and then we have the softer stuff. We have the rajas and the tamas, the dynamic and the softness. And in practice, I need you to feel that and notice that and see that. So inhale, come through a plank pose as you breathe in, steady everything long, pause for a moment, and then take everything back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come all the way forward. Exhale, take it all the way back. Just greasing the wheels of action. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, take it forward, pause, and then lift your right leg, three-legged plank. Now, if that already feels too strong, just put the left knee down on the floor in a plank-like shape. Otherwise, if you're in the full plank shape, right heel is lifted, take a full breath in as you inhale. Exhale, knee to nose like a cat. Push everything down and up. And then inhale, send it back. So I don't want you to go from extension to flexion. I just want you to go from neutral to flexion. Inhale, three-legged plank. Exhale, high like a cat. You'll start to feel your arms fire. Inhale. Exhale, curl and lift. One more. Exhale, extend. Plank pose, down dog, exhale. And just notice how that already starts to feel counterintuitive to what the practice or the body wants to do. Inhale back to plank pose, do the left side, so the left leg floats. Plank is the posture, knee up or down. Big breath in. Knee to nose, curl like a cat. Lift your hips, lift the back of your spine, arch high. Good, inhale, send it back. So think lengthening as opposed to back bending, curl. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, curl it forward. One more time, inhale, send it back, three-legged plank. Exhale, curl it forward. Inhale, send it back, three-legged plank. Foot down, downward facing dog. Exhale, put your knees down, tuck your toes, sit back onto your heels. Pause. And so a lot of times when I guide a practice like this, and we're looking at the exploration between the effort and the softness, what you might find is we go effort, 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 soft, 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 soft. You might call that like yang to yin, or vinyasa to restorative. Today we're going to explore it literally in bite-sized moments. Effort, softness. And even though this softness now on the heels isn't necessarily checking out, it's a softness from the action. And it allows us to notice the settling. If you're tucked toes and you're sitting on your heels, you should start to feel the warmth moving through the toes. You should start to feel the knees sliding forward and the spine sitting taller. Take a big breath in. Come back to tabletop position as you exhale. Tap the toes if you need to. Take a cow pose, breathing in. And then downward facing dog as you breathe out. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Inhale, spine goes long, collarbones go wide. And then bow forward as you exhale. Stand all the way up. Inhale, reach your hands tall, spine tall, fingers rise. And then bow forward as you exhale. Let's put a little blood flowing through the body. Inhale, you rise. Exhale, you fall. Take a halfway lift. Step yourself back through plank. Chaturanga to the floor. Cobra pose, rise. Downward facing dog, exhale. Wonderful. Lift your right leg to the sky, breathe everything in. Step through a lunge. Put your left knee on the floor. Effort is rising, breath is inhaling. Exhale, left hand to the floor, prep for easy twist. So come onto the left fingertips of your left hand. Inhale, easy twist, lift your back left knee. So stay in this shape for a moment, and I'd like you to be high on the left fingertips or on a block, and that's gonna force or ask you to extend out of it. Take a big breath in, long breath out, and then let the right knee open, let the left heel turn to the left side, and open this into a Shiva twist. So if you're unfamiliar with that action, you can look in on the screen. Your right knee is gonna open into a hip opener. Your left leg is gonna be the outside edge of your back foot. You'll probably come back to flat hand. Come back to that easy twist. Lunge. Try that again. Left palm on the floor, inhale, easy twist. Exhale, curl and open. Good. Inhale, take it back over your head. Turn it back into a lunge. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, step it forward. Easy twist, you open. Exhale, twist to the outside edges of both feet. Inhale, take it back over your head, turn it back into a lunge, pause. Go again. Inhale, easy twist. Palm, exhale, outside of the feet. Inhale, over your head, come back to the lunge shape. Downward facing dog. Stay here, big breath in. Long breath out. So part of the effort that we have in the practice isn't just the dynamic nature of the postures, but the way in which the mind has to move into effort, move into understanding. And now that it's in the body once, we can settle through the action of knowing, even though it's not quiet and soft. Settling is that harmony of action and intention. Let's do that again. Inhale, right leg to the sky, please. Breathe in. Step forward, lunge. Left hand fingertips. Peel it open, easy twist. Exhale, take it down to the floor, take it back, twist. My fault, I confused everyone, didn't I? Inhale, come everything over your head. Exhale, stay, into the lunge. Back into easy twist, breathe everything in and open. Now shift the feet outside edge, twist through the hips. Inhale, take it back over your head. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg rises, step forward, lunge. Right fingertips, easy twist. Palm to the floor, outside edges of the feet, twist. Inhale, take it back over the head. Exhale, stay in the lunge. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, take the twist. Inhale over the head and reach as you expand. Downward facing dog, exhale. Big breath in. Long breath out. One more time. It's going to feel nice and smooth now. Right leg to the sky. Step to lunge. Left fingertips, easy twist. Open and expand. Skandasana twist. Take it back. Outside edges of the feet. Good. Don't let your left hip drop to the floor. Inhale, take it over your head. Bring your hand to the floor. Exhale, find the lunge. Both heels are off the floor. Inhale, come back to easy twist. Exhale and open. Twist it back. Inhale, take it over your head. Hands to the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in here. Exhale, long breath out. Second side. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step to lunge. Come onto the fingertips of your right hand. Inhale, easy twist. Flat palm, exhale, Shiva twist. Inhale over your head, lift the heels. Settle into the lunge. Easy twist, peel open the spine. Flat palms, exhale, Skandasana twist. Inhale over your head. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Big inhale here. Long exhale out. Right leg to the sky. Please bend the knee, roll the hip open. And as you take this hip yawn on the right side, lift your left heel high, slightly bend the left knee. Drive the thigh bones back. Take a big breath in, please. And as you exhale, bring that right knee to your right wrist. Lower the shin like a pigeon pose. Put the right hip down and let the left knee come out to a 90 degrees. Now, if you're unsure of where to be, I'll show you forward so you can see the shape that I'm in. Front leg is in a pigeon shape, back leg is in a 90 degrees. And if yours is slightly modified, totally fine. We're not here for long, but we're here for long enough to allow yourselves to settle. Hands rise to fingertips so there's space in the spine as you lift you up. And as you exhale, lift your left foot up off the mat. Take it forward to the front of the mat. Good. And then release both legs up to boat pose. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Place the right shin, same right shin back to where you were. Take the left foot back to the side like 90-90 shape. Take a big breath in. And then fold. And flow the fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. 2 more times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. As you sit up, bring your left leg forward. Lift both legs to boat. Exhale, cross the ankles, step back, tabletop, downward facing dog. And just like before, the first time through, it'll feel like an unfamiliar sequence, because it will be, and it is. And your job isn't to figure it out, but to feel it out. Feet together, left leg to the sky, breathe in. Bend the knee, roll the hip open. Lift the right heel high, soften the right knee, drive the thigh bone back, take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, shin to the top of the mat. Put the back right knee down, the left hip down, readjust to a 90-90 on the right side. Let your hands stabilize you, sit yourself taller, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, first things first, bring that right leg around, take a boat pose, breathing in. And then exhale, put your left shin down, float that right leg back. Now flowing pigeon poses. Inhale, breathing in and up. And then exhale, folding it down. Really feel that front right leg. Inhale. Find the places you can settle. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breathing in. Breathing out. Good, lift everything up, come back to boat pose. Inhale, please. Cross the ankles, tabletop. Cow pose for good measure. Exhale, downward facing dog. So let's build on that now. Feet together, inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend the knee and roll the hip open. Inhale, the breath goes in. Hips go high. Exhale, curl the right foot forward like a pigeon pose. Place it down on the mat, but don't wait. Bring your left leg around straight away. Boat pose. Breathing in. Exhale, right shin down. Left leg back 90 degrees. Hands to the floor. Breathe everything in as you lift high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. So we're going to do this 3 times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Come back to boat pose on your next inhale. Breathing in. Cross the ankles. Exhale, tabletop. Cow pose, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's do the second side. Feet together. Left leg rises up. Bend the knee and wrap it open. Now focus on your breath, how it guides. Inhale, let the hips go higher. The pose opens to the left hip. Exhale, curl it forward to a pigeon pose of the front leg. Put your right knee down. Shift over to the left hip. Bring the right leg all the way forward and around, straight up into boat pose. Breathing in. Now find the 90-90. Left shin down, right leg around at 90 degrees. Fingertips float you high. Inhale, spine goes tall. Exhale, you fold. Twice more. Inhale, you lift. And then exhale, you fold. One more time. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you fold. Bring that right leg around. Inhale, boat pose. Exhale, cross the ankles, tabletop. Cow pose, inhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So now the posture sequence becomes more familiar. One more time, feet together, right leg to the sky. Inhale. Bend the knee and wrap the hip open. Lift the left heel high, breathing in. Smooth out the creases. Exhale, pigeon pose, front leg, right hip down, left knee into 90 degrees. Sweep it around without touching the floor. Inhale, boat pose. Exhale, right shin down, left foot back 90 degrees without touching the floor. Inhale, rise the spine. Exhale, fold. See if you can get a little bit longer. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale, you rise. Exhale, you fall. Now it's slightly different, please. Inhale, sit yourself up. Bring your left leg over double pigeon. If you don't need your hands, don't use your hands. Exhale, let the fold happen. Now I'll turn forward so you can see me and you be where you need to be. And as the momentum comes through this action and then we stop in seat, the breath catches up, the body catches up. And if you need to, lift, scoot, shuffle the tailbone back, let the spine turn forward. And allow that folding action to create that space through the outer hips. And if you need to, block up, either sit on a block or block the top thigh, and find that feeling of a hold and a fold. Good, so now that the body starts to get into the shape of receiving, we're going to do a little action that helps us feel a twist in this shape. Now, if you're similar to me, your right shin is on your bottom and the left shin is on top. And it doesn't matter if your left shin is higher or your left foot needs to be on the floor. You're in a version of half pigeon that works for your body. And here's the next movement I want you to take. You can watch me or you can do it with me. I want you to inhale straight, hands going up. Then I want you to exhale, twist to your left. So that means you're twisting away from your top leg. Now take a big breath in. Bring your hands like cobra and then fold in that direction. Now you might find you've twisted too far. It might end up being a diagonal. And what you're doing here is you're folding that allows the top femur bone to move downward so it will close the pose. And at the same time, what I need you to do is keep this fold here and take your left hand straight out. Hopefully you're on rubber so you can still grip. And then with your right thumb, I want you to take it back to your right hip and push it back to the floor. So you're almost peeling yourself down and away from that left palm, while the torso folds over that left thigh. You might want to bend your left elbow. You find the way in which your chest anchors this left thigh, and your right thumb moves away. It should feel really juicy. Big breath in, long breath out. Good. Peel yourself back up. Stretch your legs in front of you to release. Good. And then bend your knees up, cross your ankles, tabletop, downward facing dog. Because we've got the second side to do. What I love about flowing into deeper folds is that we get the blood moving, the breath moving, the body in action, and then we settle. It's like landing an airplane, right? As opposed to just stacking logs. Does that make sense? If you land an airplane, it means we're going from momentum into steady grounding. If you're just stacking logs, you're doing posture on top of posture on top of posture on top of posture. And I'll explain the log thing when we get back there. Left leg to the sky, please. Breathe all the way in. Bend the knee and roll it open. Lift the right heel, bend the right knee, drive it back. Breathe in so there's space. Exhale. Place that left shin towards pigeon. Right knee comes out and around, so we're not overly doing it. And we come straight around to a boat pose, breathing in. Exhale, come back to that left pigeon, right knee. Hands back to the floor. Inhale, you rise. Exhale, you fold and flow. And it's okay if you've forgotten the sequence. Your job is not to remember. That's my job. But if you tune into what we're doing, the body knows where it's going. You almost need to just get out of the way. Breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. This one we're moving to double pigeon. Inhale. Lift that whole right leg up off the mat. Try not to touch the floor. Shape it across the body, double pigeon without the fingers. And then reset your seat. Lift it, shuffle it, settle it. And of course, the shape of double pigeon doesn't need to look like mine. I have a certain body type, an East Asian body type, which helps this posture suit a little bit better. I've been in practice for the better part of the last 2 or 3 decades. So I have a familiarity, and this just fits my body. And so it's not about, oh, he's really good at the yoga or he can do this pose. It's just this shape suits. I could do this pose my whole life, long before I found a yoga mat. And so what I was talking about earlier about finding that place where we can settle, this is the effort, the rajas, into the stillness, the tapas, but settling is finding the harmony. This is a great posture that represents harmony, because this is not a soft posture for a lot of us. This is not a dynamic posture for a lot of us, but it's about finding how we can set up or land the airplane in a way that allows us to get the value and the settlement in this pose. If it works for you, you can slide your hips back and then take the fold forward. And the metaphor I gave you for this, or the whatever you call it, is stacking logs. When you're stacking logs on a fire, you're just taking one thing from here and putting it over here. One thing over here, putting it over here. And that just becomes very clear in its intention. Strong, steady ignition. When we go through flow and end up here, it causes us to need to settle. Ironically, this pose is called Agni Stambhasana. Agni is fire, Stamba is a log. So this is called fire log pose, Agni Stambhasana. It's not actually called double pigeon. We just call it double pigeon because it's half a pigeon and another pigeon, so why not call it a double pigeon? But in Sanskrit, it's Agni Stambhasana, which means the fire log, the burning of the logs, the burning that creates the heat, because this pose for a lot of us creates heat, especially in the upper leg, upper hip, upper thigh. Big breath in, and long breath out. Good. And then to come out of the pose, whenever you're ready, you roll yourself up to a seat, send your legs forward, give them a little wiggle, cross your ankles, tabletop, downward facing dog. Big breath in, long breath out. Wonderful. Let's lift your right leg to the sky, please. Step forward through a lunge. Inhale, your hands go all the way up. And then today, go warrior two. And from warrior two, straighten your front leg. So start to feel this right thigh bone draw up. And then for today, what I'd love for you to do is lift the toes on your front foot. So you're on the ball mound of your front right foot and heel. The arch is lifted and your arms are reaching forward. Tilt the hips up and back so you have that pelvic tilt as you lean forward. Take a full breath in. Exhale, find a triangle pose here where the back of your right hand is pressing against the inside shin of your right leg. And the reason I like it there is because when I push there, it means I can draw my right rib cage through. Keep the toes on the bottom right foot lifted. So now it's forcing you to incur stability. Take a big breath in, long breath out. Turn your eyes to the floor. Inhale, rises the spine up to standing. Turn your toes down your left mat. Big breath in, and then fold. Now, of course, I'm backwards to you, but you're whatever side you're facing. And allow your feet to be parallel towards the side edge of the mat. Take a halfway lift so there's space. And then take a forward fold. Now, don't stay there. Keep flowing. Inhale, lift your spine. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you lift. And stay on the fingertips as you exhale. Now find this twist with me. I'm going to turn around so I can see you and you can see me. Otherwise, you're staring at something that's not needed. I want you to move your left fingertips to the middle of your mat or the middle of your body so it's directly underneath, essentially where your collarbone meets. Anchor that through the fingertips and then inhale, peel the chest open so you're now in a twist, so a twisted Prasarita Padottanasana, so a Pavrita Prasarita Padottanasana. Ooh. Big breath in and then exhale and take it back. If that's too much on the fingertips, use a block under your hands or just block to the floor. Go the other way. Inhale. And you'll find it's quite a deep twist in the body because the arms are extending out, spine is reaching out of the pelvis, and the legs are in a wide stance. Big breath in, and then exhale, fold. Now notice for yourself, because I can see some of you in practice, is I want you to think about this as a twist of the spine as opposed to a reach of the hands. Left hand back to the floor, inhale. Move your left rib cage under, feel the chest point to the right wall, and notice your top hand is only coming out the same distance as if the collarbones were extending long. Take a big breath in, and exhale, fold. You just jacking your arm back doesn't make it a deeper twist, it just means you're putting a bend in the shoulder. Second side, inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Wonderful. Bend your knees so you have a little bit of room to work with them. Heel toe the feet in, 1, 2. Keep them going all the way in so you can find yourself into Malasana. Drop your seat down. And as you find your seat into Malasana, make sure you have a little bit of room here. And just notice how that settles. Right? How do you settle through the effort of those twists, especially if those twists are newer for you? How can you find that feeling in the body? Take a big breath in Long exhale out. Okay, so what I want you to do is reach your hands forward today. And essentially with the arms forward, it puts you completely in the legs. And I need you on your inhale to reach everything up as you stand all the way up to standing. Breathe everything in. And then exhale, just like you're bringing the palms back to the center of your heart. Lower yourself back down. Now I want you to go half that speed and do twice as much work. Does that make sense? Inhale. Exhale, pull it back down. If you're going fast, you're missing the effort. One more time. Inhale, extend and expand. Pull it back down. Exhale. Good. And then let the triceps move to the backs of the knees. Draw everything open. Let the collarbones widen. Take a big breath in. Long exhale. Okay, I'm going to turn back up the mat so I'm with you the same way. We will do the left side, I promise. Big inhale in. Long exhale out. Place your hands down, lift your hips. Walk yourself back to dog. And as you get back to downward facing dog, let's do the left side, please. Inhale, left leg flies up. Step forward to a lunge. Inhale, crescent, puts length in the body. Warrior two, you open. Straighten your front leg for triangle pose. Inhale, lift the front toes. Exhale, reach forward. Take the back of the hand to the shin. Inhale, expand. Feel the left ribs draw through. Take a big breath in. Eyes back down to the floor. Come on, back up. Warrior two, straighten the left leg. Turn the toes one more time. Take a fold down the side of your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Now, slightly different in this variation. Today, I want you to grab a hold of your big toes. 2-piece fingers in the big toe. 2-piece fingers in the other big toe. Ground through the outside of the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, draw yourself down. And you find the space and the range that work for your body today. I'm going to stay so I can see you. But at the same time, if it's too much in the backs of the legs, shift the grip of the hands, shorten the stance of the feet. Figure out how the practice can suit your body and shape to settle today. This, in many ways, is the qualities that we keep in our practice to dial up and dial down. Big breath in and a long breath out. Okay, releasing the toes. If you're holding them, lift yourself to a halfway lift. Turn your toes towards the top of your mat, heels to the back of the mat. Crawl your hands to the front. And step your foot back, downward facing dog. But don't stay here. Widen your knees, widen your feet. Malasana, back of the mat. So now that the actions are in the body and the movements are there, we can play a little game of seeing what it's like to settle through effort. So if you're here and you can see me on screen, it doesn't matter if you can't, what I want you to do is I want you to find the rhythm. We're going to do a few different rounds of this. I want you to lift your heels as high as they go. Almost as if you're sitting on your heels, but they're all on high heels. Good, take a big breath in. And then lower them to whatever range they lower to. So the weight shifts back. Do that one more time. Inhale, heels go up. Hands can be wherever you want. I just have mine on my knees to just hang for a moment. And exhale, put it down. Feel the tailbone slide down. One more time. Inhale, everything comes up. Everything stays lifted. Collarbones widen. And exhale, heels go down. Everything slides down. And this is almost just that transitionary rocking stage. Now wait for a moment and have a look at me. I want your hands to go down, your hips to come up. So you want to be halfway through the mat. Clap your feet, come back to Malasana halfway up the mat. Good, now I want you to make less noise. I know you're on mute at home. I want you to make a little less noise when you land. You're gonna do this twice more before the top of the mat. So inhale, place it down. And then one more time, top of the mat. And then place it down. Good. See how that is to kind of find that feeling of flight. Hands down, hips up. Walk yourself back. Downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out if that's helpful for you. Give a little bit of space in the body. And then let's go again. Turn your toes out like Malasana. Walk yourself back. Sit your hips down. Now, here's a few things I'd like you to try this time as we do it again. I want you to either land softer, option 1. If that feels something that's realistic, then I want you to get your hips a little higher, clap twice before your feet come down. Let's try that. So once or twice clapping, 3 times to get to the top of the mat. It looks and feels like this. Hands go down, clap. Or it goes a little higher, clap. A little higher, clap. When you get to the top, good, hands down, hips up. Walk yourself back. If you want to stop in tabletop, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, come all the way back to the back of the mat. Now, what I don't want you to do is, it sounds really strange. I don't want you to get excited. I don't want this to be fun. I want this to be almost, after you do something that's really fun and interesting and different, like say you're learning how to skateboard, or you're learning how to ride a horse. It's really fun and exciting, that honeymoon period of wow. And then it just becomes a skill. It becomes understood. And then other things become fun. And so I want this to become something nurtured or settled, even if it's on the edge of excitement still. If you're someone who's really capable here upside down and 2 claps is fine, do 3 claps. Hang out, hold the handstand before you come down. Doesn't matter to me, but I want it to be controlled. Controlled is the wrong word. I want it to be settled in your action. So once, twice, 3 times clapping, and then do 3 more hops to the top of the mat. I'll meet you there. Woo! And now you know. Take a big breath in. Forward fold top of your mat. We see this come to life when we start to explore different postures. Inhale, rise yourself to standing. And give yourself the space to just notice how we can settle even as we're learning, even as we're developing, even as we're familiar, everything can settle. Find a spot for your eyes, find a place where they can land. Move into tree pose, please. Left foot down, right foot up. And instead today of just kind of good old regular tree, if it's here and settled for you, stay. Otherwise, can you shift this right foot into a half lotus version of a tree, which means the top of the foot is moving, the outside of the foot is moving to the front, and you can just hold on to the top of the foot with your left hand. Respect wherever the knee needs to go, so don't force it into a shape that's not. And then stay here, or with this free right hand, place it behind your back and just reach it towards the foot. Some of you will catch the foot and then you can take your left hand off. Others of you, if you're like me, it's just reaching in that direction and maybe you catch the side of the shirt and you hold everything in. And now I want you to settle for a second. Ooh. And if you wobble, you just fall out and you come again. Big breath in. Oh, that's wobbly. Long exhale. Big breath in. Long breath out. And then release your hands, but don't put the foot down. Bring it all the way up to your chest. Bring your right knee to your chest. Hold on to the knee. Take a big breath in. Wrap it across for eagle pose. And if you need to, you can put it on the floor like a kickstand. It's totally fine, or you wrap it up wherever it needs to wrap up. Wrap the right leg over, wrap the right leg under. Single or double wrap is totally fine. Find the space in which the body can settle. And as you do that, sit a little bit deeper. So you have this wrap in the body where the body sits a little bit deeper. Arms are wrapped up like eagle pose. Take a big breath in. Uncross that right leg, send it behind you, warrior three. Take a big inhale in, please. Forward fold, top of the mat. See what that feels like as is. Good. Unroll yourself back to standing. Reset for a second. Tree pose, second side. As you arrive in a tree pose, you can settle in a traditional tree, or you can move straight into the half lotus leg. The difference between this is that it creates a little bit more external rotation. It creates a deeper fold of the knee, but it provides a point of connection, a bandha, hasta bandha, hasta pada bandha. Left hand can wrap around if you'd like. Whatever is wobbling is happening. Whew. Good. Find a point of steady. Big breath in. Long breath out. Good. Release the arms. Wrap the leg up, eagle pose. I'm incredibly wobbly today, so maybe you're similar. Maybe you're better. Legs wrap wherever they need to wrap. Arms wrap under. Breath goes in. Warrior three, send that left leg back. One breath here, inhale. And then fold. Chair pose just to clean everything lying up. Exhale to stand, Tadasana. So in the practice, we often come back to Tadasana as a point of check-in. And adding a little bit more depth into it, we bring the hands together at what's called samastiti, which is not necessarily an action, but a understanding, a feeling of centering, grounding. Take a full breath in here. Long breath out. Again, inhale your hands back to the sky, please. And then forward fold. Take a halfway lift and just step back, plank pose. Shift to down dog. Come through to your knees. Pause here for a moment. I'm going to turn forward. And then draw your knees together. And when you do that, I want to bring your right leg in front. So your right knee is stacked in front of your left knee. And your feet are wider than your hips. This is a prep for a pose we call Gomukhasana, cow face pose. And for some of you, you might want a block to put under your hips as you come back down to the floor. So as you come back down to the floor in a Gomukhasana, your knees are stacked. And again, some of you, the block under the hips gives you a little bit of height and steadiness. And the feet are free out to the side, so you're not sitting on them. Flex the toes, take a big breath in, and fold forward. Big inhale in. Long exhale out. Just notice how things are for you today. How the posture feels, how the practice feels. Right? This is a practice we're calling settle in. Right? Balance in between the energies that exist. Big breath. Long exhale. Good. Inhale, roll yourself back up to a seat. And in the yogi's fastest way, or the most effective way to get to the other side, is I want you to just allow yourself to ground the feet and spin towards the other side. So if you haven't done it before, you can look at me, hands go down, feet stay where they are. Just literally spin. Don't shift the feet. Good. Don't shift the feet. If you're not sure, you can practice that again later. But your left should be unstacked on top of your right. Feet are wider than the hips. Shuffle your hips up onto a block or at least into a turn. Big breath in as you lift. Exhale, you fold. And just notice heartbeat, breath, Notice how the body is and might be. And put yourself in a position where the body can feel at ease. All the efforts that you have, all the gentleness that you can feel even through the warmth and the effort of a pose in folding. Good. Gently rise yourself up to a seat. Extend your legs in front of you. Give them a wiggle so there's space. And then as you start to lie down, can you bring your right knee to your chest and then turn it open like a half pigeon leg and do a figure four shape on the back. So your left knee comes and catches the outside of your right ankle, and you draw the left knee up towards the chest. You feel the right thigh open. Big breath in. Long breath out. Big inhale. And a long exhale. If that's nice for you, you can stay, or you can send your legs into the air for a little wiggle. And find your way into the second side. Big inhale in. Long exhale. And it feels nice. You stay, you settle. In a class, there's no mandate that you have to go at the speed of instruction. Maybe some classes, not this class. And then start to slide your way down into a place you can find a moment to rest. And there is enough time if you find yourself needing or feeling drawn to doing something else. And that could be a twist. That could be an inversion. It could just be something that you feel that feels nice in the body. More and more these days as I teach the practice, I really want to create the space for you to listen, to notice what you need and do that. Even if you have very little knowledge of the postures, you can still listen to how the body needs to move or needs to settle. Because at the end of the day, it's all value. It's all meaningful. Practices like this I really do enjoy because all it really does, it reminds us that there is no one way to do anything. But in a practice that approaches it and asks effort of us, we cannot only go head first thinking it's about what we can do, the output or the execution of the posture, but very much how we can settle in it, be within it, adjust it to suit our needs of the day. This is the space that we can find in practice. If you'd like to close the practice with us today, you start to wiggle the fingers and the toes and to come back into the space. And if you want to stay longer, you stay where you are because you are in a great place. So there's no need to move if you don't need to. If and when you're ready, your hands can come back to the center of the heart space to settle your practice back into the point and the place of feeling. And we'll close effortlessly today with one breath and one Om. Take a full inhale in. And a long exhale out. Inhale. Om. Honoring the practice for all that it is. And if you'd like, together we say, Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. It is nice to have you here in the room. And as always, I hope to see you soon.